Come on. Awesome. Son of a... The sad truth about shop organization is it takes a bit of work to get things just right. And in my shop, I've done very little in the way of organization. I've never really been happy about that. I'm always pushing things around, tripping over things, dropping things, and I can never find what I'm looking for when I need it. Now, I'd love to do a whole bunch of stuff in my shop to get things just tip-top, but I need to start out small. So the first thing that I want to work on is going to solve two problems for me. The first is going to remove these cabinets for a future French cleat system. And then the other is going to provide me with a station that I can have in my work area that will hold all the tools that I need for that particular task. And I'll be able to grab them when I need them. In this video, I'm going to show you how I built this portable and modular tool cart with hardware organization. On the front, I have 32 slots that I can arrange in any fashion that I like. I currently make use of 20 of the slots. I might put a sandpaper organizer in here. I have a few ideas that I'm tinkering with as well. On the back and sides, I have French cleats that I could store tools that I need during a particular function. So if I'm breaking down sheet goods, I could have my circular saw and say a tape measure and a few other things that I need to do that job. On this side, I only have one French cleat because I plan to hang clamps from this side. Now the construction of the carcass will be entirely of 3/4 inch plywood. I only bought one sheet of plywood because I knew I had scrap laying around that I could use to complete the rest. And that led me to a project with a lot of character. You will notice that I used both birch and pine plywood. And you'll also notice that my grain runs in conflicting directions. Since this is plywood, it doesn't matter structurally, but I did make sure the cut list in the plans, which are available on my website, link will be in the description, has the correct grain direction if that's something that you're concerned with. All right, let's go. Okay there, big guy, slow your roll. Had I spent more time beforehand thinking about these cuts, I could have got at least the side and center panels grain direction right. I was just trying to get the most out of my only sheet of plywood. Here I clamped the side and center panels together and cut them to length on the miter saw. The base will consist of 2 laminated pieces. These were cut out of pine plywood. I did also use 6 1-inch wood screws around the perimeter of the lamination. That's just to provide me with a little more security in my mind. Using a flush trim bit, I cleaned up the edges. You may be asking why I made the base larger than the cabinet in my design. My reasoning for this was to provide more stability. I don't think there would be a problem with the thinner base, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. I put the entire carcass together using pocket holes and glue to reinforce. My boy wanted to help out, so I had him hold up the cabinet while I applied glue. Gotta grow 'em strong. I got these casters from Harbor Freight. I'm not too thrilled with these. I may replace them with the red casters that Harbor Freight has. I have the red ones on another item here in the shop, and they work really well. I cut my 64 shelf support pieces from 1/2 inch MDF. My first thought was to use 1/8 inch hardboard for my shelves, but I wasn't too thrilled about the flexing I got from it. I'm sure it would work fine, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Instead, I went with a plywood that was just under 1/4 inch. It was labeled as underlayment. It was actually fairly decent quality given its $8 price tag. There are a lot of shelves here, so I decided to make a template I could use to shape each shelf consistently.
To be quite honest here, it was really warm. I was getting pretty uncomfortable there at the end and I was rushing through. My execution on the right side wasn't perfect. I should have just put everything down and come back the next day. What I really love about this design is its modularity. I had a bit of a step around the top of the cabinet and I had a bit of edging laying around. I only had enough to cover 3 of the sides of the top. It works, but I may come back and put more around the rest of the cabinet later. For finish, I went with a Danish oil. It turned out really nice. Well, there you have it. I enjoyed this build, and I look forward to working with it. Hopefully I won't drop my circular saw anymore.